Cohasset High School Class of 2019.
and welcome to Cohasset High School's annual Senior Class Night. Tonight we honor many members of the class of 2019 with a variety of scholarships and awards. More than $250,000 in scholarship money will be given this evening to these graduates. We are fortunate to have so many local businesses, town organizations, and memorial funds that fund these scholarships. The requirements necessary to meet these scholarships include such criteria as academic achievement, financial need, athletic accomplishments, career interest, community service, and school involvement. Congratulations tonight are due not only to the students here, but also to the families for your role in their accomplishments and successes. Clearly, the foundation that you provided for them enabled them to be so successful in high school. You should be very proud of them and of yourselves. As well as scholarships, several awards will also be presented in recognition of a student's outstanding performance in an academic area. The first honor of the evening is presented to the #1 student in the class, Valedictorian Rebecca Krystal. You'll hear more from Rebecca on Saturday at graduation. Our next award is presented to the class salutatorian, Matthew Lucet. Matt also will share a reflection about his time at Cohasset.
Before I begin, I'd like to thank the administration for giving me this opportunity. I know I haven't spoken to a lot of you, not at least as much as I would have wanted to. So I'd like to take this chance to say what I wish I would have said a long time ago. We've heard a lot of speeches so far, and we will certainly hear more before all this is said and done with, so this one's brief. And once I'm done, you won't have to deal with me anymore. All right, here we go. 42 degrees north, 70 degrees west. We may have all arrived at the same place today, and to some extent that means we're cut from the same cloth. But that doesn't mean it has to be woven in the tapestry of our future. Maybe you're like me, and you're terrified to leave home in search of a new opportunity. That's good. It means you have a heart beating inside your chest. Maybe you've long awaited the day that you'll put this school behind you, and all the more power to you. You have character that I wish I could admit to. There's sure to be a better place out there with better people to meet you. During these 4 years, we've had time to prepare a face to meet the faces that will meet. But now who you are is ultimately up to who you choose to be, and you are now unburdened by whatever you choose to share. There's a liberating sense of agency that comes with graduation. Chart whatever course you want, because the helm is all yours. Whatever path you find yourself on, I hope it challenges you. Enjoy this evening, for it's a celebration of the hardship we've experienced together thus far. The awards you'll see tonight are as much an acknowledgement of your perseverance through adversity as they are a recognition of achievement. Be proud of this waypoint on your map, and look at how far you've come to get here. You're all marvelously talented people, and you have it in you to push that talent. Go forward in search of its bounds. You might find that you never reach them, and that's exciting. Along the way, you'll accomplish feats that I could only wish to be a witness to. It won't be easy, of course, but the easiest path is rarely the most enjoyable. I know that in each of you, there's a compass that may not point the way you want it to, but it'll lead you above and beyond what you thought was possible. Now that we have the latitude to learn and explore what we want, we can put complacency and inhibition behind us. They do nothing but slow us down, and that's important. I want to say work hard, but why should I feel the need to tell you all to work hard when I learned it from you in the first place? That's where my faith in the future comes from. We learn from each other, and we help one another. Think of the people whom you've helped, and think of those who have helped you. The teachers who sacrifice more than we know so we can learn from them. The parents who love us unconditionally. We could all do well to learn from them as well. Take some time on your own to make those more than just passing mentions. Above all, I'd like you to think of the people sitting beside you. It seems so long ago that we'd sit beside one another around a rug in elementary school where we all had a spot. This year, we're all parked in the same lot where we make it work. We used to put our snacks in a little gray bin and play kickball when it came time for recess. There's no small amount of wisdom to be found in how we've loved each other and everyone along the way since then. Take that wisdom with you as you go, because it travels well no matter where you end up. None of us can do it alone, and none of us should want to. It's now my time to leave you all, but none of the faces I'm looking at will ever leave me. I cherished every step I've ever taken with you through these 12 years. Memories are a powerful thing. People can change and die, but there's an immortality in how they're remembered by someone else. I promise to keep the very best of you with me. Thank you all, and I love you more than I'll ever find the words for. Lights out, Cohasset.
How can I beat that? No, I should follow that to be so privileged. I have the honor of announcing 3 of the scholarships that are coming your way this evening. The first is the Hardy Scholarship Fund. The scholarship provided through the generosity of Margaret Mary Hardy, a long-term resident of Cohasset, who will be awarded to seniors who plan to continue their education after high school. This year, the awards go to Jessica Adley, Brendan Cooper, The second is to Alice and Walter Shubrook Scholarship. The scholarship is awarded each year to graduating seniors who show a promise of making a contribution to society and who will continue his or her education after high school. The amount awarded shall be used to help defray the expense of pursuing a course of study or training at a college, school, or other educational institution. This year, the awards go to Niels Erlandson, Michael Hill, and Elizabeth Zane. And the third scholarship award is the Malcolm H. and Helen C. Stevens Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship is donated through the generosity of Malcolm and Helen Stevens, long-term residents and active citizens of Cohasset. And it is awarded to graduating seniors who plan to continue in the post-secondary educational program in nursing or a related career in the allied health field. Recipients of this award will be considered on the basis of moral character and quality of academic record. This year, the awards go to Kaylee Durkin, Michael Lucid,
He got me.
Thank you.
It's great.
Okay. At this time, we would like to recognize the members of the National Honor Society who will be graduating with distinction on Saturday. Okay. Okay. Nathan Arnold. Elizabeth Arnold.
Neither have relations and
Olivia Buddington. Hannah Burnett. Lily Burnett. Brendan Cooper. Ian Dunkelberger. Aaron Froyo. Jenna Herman. Caroline Hess. Maeve Humphrey. Joseph Keneally. Rebecca Krystal. David Lemoyne. Brendan Lewis. Margaret Lucia. Matthew, also known as Michael Lucid. Scott Lucid. Turner Martell. Andrew McSheffrey. Lucy Noveline. Thomas Olsen. Rachel Regan. Marcus Rowland. Emma Stevens. Diana Sturdy. Henry Thomas. Nathaniel Thomas. Allison Telosco. Ann Toomey. Holly Van Etten. Amanda Vieira. Elise Wimberly. Bridget Wickstead. And Elizabeth Zhang.
Congratulations to our senior class. It is my honor to award 3 scholarships tonight. The first is the Fred Troy Clark Chatterton Scholarship, which is given in memory of longtime teacher, coach, and athletic director of 27 years, Clark Chatterton, his wife, Sally Ann, and her father, Fred Troy. The original scholarship was started by Clark and Sally Ann to honor her father, Fred Troy, and it continues today through the help of the Clark Chatterton Memorial Fund to remember the Chatterton family by honoring student athletes who followed in their footsteps and have made a positive impact in the Cohasset community. In addition to the students' outstanding scholastic performance, involvement in athletics, and citizenship within the school community, these students selected for this award should also have shown over the years sensitivity to the needs of other people and the desire to make a contribution to life and society. Recipients of the 2019 Fred Troy Clark Chatterton Memorial Scholarship are Michael Milanowski and Elise Wimberly. next scholarship I'd like to announce the Cohasset Wrestling Booster Scholarship, and it is awarded to graduating seniors who participated in the Cohasset Wrestling Program for a minimum of 3 years, with one of those being in their senior year, and who plan to continue in post-secondary education programs. The awards, there's 8 of them, so I'll announce 2 at a time to keep it moving. The first 2, Joseph Donahue and Joseph Fox. Next, Aaron Froyo and Turner Martell. Next, Michael Milanowski and Thomas Olsen. And finally, Kevin Baroni and Vladimir Serlo. The next award is the Cohasset Dramatic Club Scholarship, and is given to a graduating senior of Cohasset Middle High School who is accepted to a 2- or 4-year college. This award goes to Nathaniel Arnold.
This next scholarship is the Edward Lapin Leadership Memorial Scholarship. It's funded by the Edward Lapin Foundation. This scholarship is in memory of my spouse, Edward Lapin, an outstanding leader in automotive business aftermarket, as well as in the town of Cohasset. Eddie, as he was affectionately known by friends and family and people in this town, was honored with the 2011 Cohasset Citizen of the Year Award for his service on the town's advisory and work for the American Cancer Society, Relay for Life, and ASP Project, and many more organizations in the Boston area. Eddie was loved by everybody. Whenever there was a problem in this town, people went to Eddie, even if it was a relationship problem, believe it or not. He would be at the bagel shop, people would come in. I'm the therapist. Eddie was the town therapist. Anyway, so it was really hard this year to find somebody, because the class is amazing. So many people in this class have given so much in leadership and community service to this town. That's why I'm still here. I've been here for over 45 years, and there's no way I'm leaving. So this year, the Edward Lapin Leadership Memorial Award goes to Marcus Rowland.
Good evening. Congratulations to the graduating class. I am privileged to award the Barbara Pape Memorial Scholarship. The Pape Scholarship was established in 1985 in memory of the mother of a scout in Troop 28 Cohasset who passed away while her son was still a scout. It has been awarded annually to young people who were engaged in a program of scouting in the town of Cohasset. That could be Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts or venturing, provided that they remained in the program through high school. The purpose of the scholarship is to assist in a small way to defray the modest costs associated with higher education. The class of 2019 has 8 young men who are active with Troop 28 throughout high school and who applied for the scholarship and will be attending college next year. All but one of these 8 joined the troop at the end of the 5th grade. When they joined as a group, they appeared mostly to be small, noisy, and to argue with one another. As a group, however, they were exceptionally active and participatory. They cumulatively logged hundreds of nights of camping, years in leadership positions, and quite literally thousands of hours of service to the community. They're still noisy, they're somewhat bigger, and they still generally argue with one another. Their Eagle Scout projects include signage at public parks and historic sites, the little free libraries that are available at the ball fields and pool, an outdoor chessboard at the Osgood schools, barriers for the Cohasset Police Department, and a cart for sensory equipment for students in the lower schools. All of these efforts, we believe, have contributed to Cohasset's community. The committee hopes that 7 years of participating in a group oriented to citizenship and good character have built attributes that will carry these recipients through their college years and beyond. The recipients of the Barbara Pape Memorial Scholarship for this year are Owen Casey, Joe Donahue, Brendan Lewis, Tyler Mulhern, Tom Olsen, Kevin Baroni, Marcus Rowland, and Joe Suzdell. In addition, although he will not be attending college or university next year, the committee and the troop would like to acknowledge and extend its very best wishes to a ninth member of this most interesting group. We'd like to recognize John Keenan, who will be entering the United States Army in about a week. John?
Good evening and congratulations, class of 2019. I'm John Roy, I'm the director of 143 TV, and annually we have the privilege and honor of giving out a scholarship or two to students who go way above and beyond the normal expectations of the so-called volunteer. They do everything from running cameras to writing to scripting. They go on to careers in journalism, film, television production. So we've had quite a few students that go on to achieve really great things. And we don't take credit for that. I've been blessed. We're so lucky to have these smart, wonderful students that just spend, I always feel like we are really in good hands with this future generation. They're smart, they're considerate, and we're just happy to have them. I brought along, why are they hiding? I have Samantha Mushroom, who is also a recipient of the award back 2015. She just graduated from Hofstra. She kind of cheated on us by changing into a theater major, although she claims she still does video production. But I want her to say a few words. We also have Colin Bell, who is from 2013. And he wants to remind people not to mess with the intercom system. And he'll explain why. Go ahead, Sammy.
Hi, guys. So the 143 TV Foundation helped me become the person I am today. This organization helped me boost my confidence. I was very shy at the beginning of high school, and I owe that to 143 TV and Don. This organization taught me to not be afraid to be unapologetically myself, as I hope it also helps the recipients of this award. It allowed me opportunities I would not have had if it was not for this organization. It taught me my newfound passion for film at that time, and because of 143 TV, I have had opportunities to work with different film companies, and will be teaching film to teenagers this summer, which I couldn't I have to thank Dawn and 143 TV for that. So this organization has just given so much to me, as I hope it did these recipients as well. And I'm proud to call myself an alumni. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Good evening, everyone. I'll echo what Sammy said. 143 TV is an amazing organization. I think it's unique in its ability to offer incredible opportunities at such a young age. It definitely impacted me in my career track. I was able to get into video production in high school, which kind of informed what I wanted to do in college at a very early age, and that I was kind of able to parlay that into starting basically my own video production business, which is now my full-time job and career. So I'm very proud to say that I'm 100% self-employed at the age of 23, and I attribute a lot of that to 143. So yeah, congratulations to our recipients, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
We also dragged along a former alum. Would you like to say a few words, Sully? Sully. I told him I wouldn't put him on the spot, but this is what we do. This is how we roll. I just wanted to thank him personally. He's at WPI now, studying computer science. He's a wonderful guy. He's always volunteered for us. For the past 3 years, he comes in, he does all kinds of television work. I broke my computer last year, and it was delivered in a box. He happened to be in the studio. By the time I got in, it was all set up. I had my editing software. I was ready to roll that day. So that's the kind of guy he is. Thank you. This year's scholarship recipient was a really quiet guy. We could hardly get him to talk. But he was always there, and he was always doing something. He was always running a camera. And then we realized, as I got busy, I was on the phone. He was directing people and moving people around. And he worked with the Andy Tierney on the Political Society. Well, he took over that this year. He's the writer, director, producer. He has the crew in and out, sometimes in a half hour, to do a half-hour show. And this is a marvelous young man. He's going to go places. Marcus Rowland. We can't get rid of him. He'll be here tomorrow giving a workshop for the next crew coming along. Our next recipient was not so quiet. In fact, he's one of the most outgoing, friendliest, independent study students we've ever had. His love of sports and television production just happened to fall into our laps. So he has actually started writing and filming. We're starting a new project called the Cohasset Sports Hall of Fame. And Michael Milanowski is one of the first people who started this program. Thank you.
This award is given by the Social Service League of Cohasset to a graduating senior who represents awareness of social need and concern for community. This year, we happily give our award to a very deserving applicant. This student has participated in many leadership forums and volunteer services, excuse me, both in and out of Cohasset. She embodies the spirit and the mission of the Social Service League, which is to directly benefit those in need. This year, we proudly present our scholarship to Kaylee Durkin.
It is a pleasure for me to be here to represent the United States Air Force and to present this Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Scholarship. We are extremely selective in awarding scholarships. This past year, only 10% of applicants were awarded a full tuition. Tom is joining a very selective and elite group of young men and women. Tom's scholarship covers full college tuition, provides a textbook allowance, and pays most laboratory and incidental fees. The estimated value of this is around $250,000 when applied to Princeton University. When he graduates from Princeton University, he will commission in the United States Air Force. So on behalf of Brigadier General Christopher J. Nemai, Commander, United States Air Force, Gene M. Holmes Center for Officer Sessions and Citizen Development, I would like to extend a hearty congratulations and the certificate of recognition to Tom Olsen.
Good evening. I'm still a little bit hoarse from the Memorial Day ceremonies this past weekend. I want to congratulate you all for graduating from Cohasset High School. For myself, I graduated in 1991. My name's Philip Pratt. I'm the commander of the Sons of the American Legion. And to keep it short and simple, I would like to award Gabriella Sestito with one of our scholarships for this year. One of our volunteers that was very helpful this year with the Healing Field, setting up all the over 1,000 flags this year, John Mahoney.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Deirdre Wigmore, Tom Wigmore's wife. Tom passed away almost 4 years ago. This July it will be 4 years, and we decided to start a memorial scholarship for him for kids in the community that do community service, that volunteer to do things like Tom did. He did everything, was all volunteer that he did for the town, other than work for the town for 28.5 years. So this year we had a very difficult time trying to decide who was going to get the scholarship, so we ended up with 3 recipients. The first recipient is John Mahoney. The second recipient is Gabriella Sestito. Last but not least, I just want to say a little something about this gentleman. My husband approached him when he was in the junior high band, I think. think that was. And he has started playing the trumpet for us, or the bugle, I should say, excuse me. At that point, Tom said to him, if you could do the 9/11 ceremony, and if you do a good job, maybe I'll hire you for the Memorial Day Parade. And I always told him that when he plays echo, that's the hardest part because you have to make the same mistakes the first person did. So on behalf of the Thomas Wigmore Memorial Service, I want to give this to Thomas Olsen.
Good evening, I'm another Wigmore. I congratulate you, the class of 2019. 66 years ago, I walked out that door. Tonight, I have the privilege of presenting scholarships from the George H. Mealy American Post. The committee struggles very hard, and believe me, I know I listen to them argue, but they come to a decision finally. Our first award goes to Carolyn B. McManus. Gabriella Sestito. Aaron J. Froyle. Joseph A. Fox. Also, the George H. Mealy American Legion Post gives out the scholarship in memory of Thomas Wigmore. This year's recipient is John P. Mahoney. As you know, one of your members is going in to the armed forces. So if you would step up here, please. The man is going into the Army. John, congratulations on choosing the Army. Upon your completion of the first phase of your training, and send us a copy of your orders assigning you to a new training base, we will give you an award which is called the American Legion Military Grant. It is the amount upon completion of your basic training. We will give you $1,000.
Congratulations to the class of 2019. My name is Brenda Douglas, and I'm the president of the American Legion Auxiliary here in Cohasset. Every year we have many events to raise money so that we may give 2 scholarships to senior class members. And this year is no different. The first recipient of the American Legion Auxiliary Scholarship is Bella Sestito. And the second recipient, Jack Mahoney.
Hi folks, my name is Rich Hines and I'm commander of the Cohasset Veterans of Foreign Wars.
We have 2 awards tonight. The first is the Ralph Parencello Scholarship to John Mahoney. Our next award is the grant, and the grant is to John Keenan. One of the things we found out in our membership, both in the Legion and the VFW, that it's often the case where somebody coming right out of high school, going into the military, is not recognized in a forum like this. And we were frankly amazed when we thought of it. So if the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign War doesn't support somebody going off to the military, who will? So I know you enjoy chewing that gum. It better be gone by Monday morning. In addition to the $1,000 grant after basic training, John, if he is eligible for the VFW, will get a lifetime membership in the VFW.
Good evening. I am here on behalf of the DAR Good Citizen Award. In 1934, the Daughters of the American Revolution created the Good Citizen Award to honor the qualities of a good citizen. Students selected for this award have the qualities of dependability, which includes truthfulness and loyalty, their service, being cooperative and considerate of others, and demonstrating leadership. The Colonial Thomas Lothrop Old Colony Chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution recognizes here's good citizen, Elise Wimberly.
Hello everyone. I'm here tonight to give out 2 scholarships. The first one is for the Cohasset Farmers Market. The Cohasset Farmers Market, every year the Board of Directors proudly awards several cash scholarships to graduating Cohasset high school students based on their awareness of community and environment, personal service, and academic school standing. The funds behind these scholarships are all raised at the farmers market through the sales of snacks, small items by the Friends of the Farmers Market, a volunteer group seeking to enhance the community spirit generated by the market. By uniting market vendors, local community organizations, businesses, and educational programs, the Friends' mission is to promote the benefits of local grown food, sustainability, and healthy living, and awareness of tradition. Also providing an enjoyable experience for all ages in a unique gathering place on the Cohasset Common. This year, we are very happy to present awards to these deserving seniors. Congratulations to Maeve Humphrey, Sophie Markowitz, and Elizabeth Zeng. The next scholarship that I'm going to present is the scholarship to dedicate the memorial of Jessica Mcdonald. Jessie, who you may have all known by her, was an amazing young woman who worked at the farmers market for many years. She was known for her love and spirit in many ways. This year's scholarship is awarded to an individual who shares some of the qualities of generosity, humility that Jessie shared with anyone who knew her. Congratulations to Bella Sestito. Congratulations, everyone.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 2019. My name is Krystal and I'm here to present the Gia Baresi Memorial Scholarship Award. This is our 16th year offering this award, and every year is more difficult than the previous in selecting a recipient. This just shows the tremendous amount of talent in this class tonight. Like many of you, Gia was a leader, a scholar, an athlete, and a role model. She was the first girl to play Little League Baseball in the history of Cohasset. She was class valedictorian, National Honor Society, state spelling bee champ, and played and captained 3 varsity sports. She was among the first class of inductees into the Cohasset Athletic Hall of Fame. Clearly, Gia was a presence in the classroom and on the field. Tonight's recipient is also a tremendous presence as a scholar athlete, a 2-sport all-star caliber athlete, an AP scholar, a community volunteer, a leader, and a very motivated and passionate individual. To paraphrase this applicant's own humble words, I am one player on a team among other talented athletes, one student in a classroom of bright individuals, and one person on earth trying to make it a better place for others, a trait that Gia embodied as well. I know Gia would be proud of our choice this year, and it was with great pleasure that this award goes to Annie Toomey.
Presenting a few scholarships tonight. The first is the Cohasset Dental, the Cohasset Dental Scholarship. Kevin Thomas and myself give this scholarship every year to a student that has excelled in academics and is pursuing studies in either dentistry, medicine, nursing, or public health. This year we chose Allison Telesco. Two are for the Cohasset basketball boosters. The first is the Susan D. Michelle Scholarship. The D. Michelle family was a longtime supporter of Cohasset basketball. Don D. Michelle was the past president, and he and Susan D. Michelle devoted many hours to the development of the youth basketball program. This scholarship is presented to a graduating senior who has played all 4 years in Cohasset basketball. This year's recipient is Mark Mahoney. The next scholarship is the Ed Lapin Memorial Scholarship. Ed Lapin was a longtime supporter and contributor to the Cohasset Youth Basketball Program. In addition, Ed also valued education. Ed was generous in his time and talents and contributed in a positive manner to the Cohasset community. This scholarship is awarded to one high school senior who has played 4 years of Cohasset basketball and has demonstrated academic commitment and achievement. This year's recipient is Brad Aldies.
To represent the Cohasset Arts Boosters. We had an amazing turnout and amazing essays. It was really, really difficult. When selecting our scholarships, we asked students to tell us how arts have influenced their time at Cohasset High School. So I'm going to talk about our first recipient. Our first student is a talented musician, composer whose dedication to their craft produced, among other things, 2 pieces of music performed by the high school band. This student says the experience was life-changing and that the pride they felt will motivate them for the rest of their life. Congratulations to our first recipient, Scott Olsen.
Our second student artist has been involved in the band for their entire high school career. As they put it, the band is my team. Mo is my coach. Whether in jazz band, pepping us up at home football games, or bugling around town, this student states, the arts haven't just influenced and enhanced my life while at CMHS. They have defined my high school career. Our next Arts Booster Scholarship recipient is Thomas Olsen.
Our third recipient has been telling stories through drawing and animation for most of their life. This student describes art as a comforting force and a safe place. The variety and challenge of artistic opportunities Cohasset High School has inspired this artist to pursue a BFA in college with the goal of becoming a professional animator. Congratulations to Sophie Marquez.
Discovered the arts in middle school. Beginning in the band, this student met some of his best friends to this day and said, every single day I look forward to the moment I get to sit down and play some music in band class. This student progressed into art classes where their true interest was uncovered, placing them on the path they have chosen to pursue in college, which is graphic design. This artist states, music and art have had the most impact on me as a person and as a student. Congratulations to the final 2019 Arts Booster Scholarship recipient, Brendan Lewis. We hope you treasure the memories you made at Cohasset High School and continue to appreciate and explore the arts in your lives.
Good evening, and congratulations to all of you. This is amazing. I've been presenting, my name is Betsy Walsh-Conley, and I've been presenting for about 20 years now for the Democratic Town Committee for the Joseph Walsh Scholarship. We had about 20 applicants from your class this year for the scholarship, and we were asking the question, what 3 roles do you think as a leader, what 3 characteristics are most important as you go forward to change the world? And it was one of the most difficult classes, and I've been doing it for 20 years. All of you are leaders, and those who applied shared that what they thought was most important, your own characteristics and those of leaders, included integrity, empathy, being logical, being a collaborator, a good delegator, to be passionate about what you believe in, to be respectful, to be inclusive, to be intelligent, to understand foreign policy, to be confident, to be a good negotiator, to have conviction and confidence, to be a part of a community and unite a community. And with all of those characteristics, it was difficult to choose one person, but we did find someone who had an incredible background in nonstop leadership volunteerism, experiences with Harvard, the UN internships in state and out, someone who's going to Syracuse University to be a political journalist. Congratulations to Mia McGrath.
Evening. So this is a Republican award. Vladimir Putin couldn't make it tonight, so I'm Peter Buckley, and I'm chairman of the Republican Town Committee, and happy to congratulate this class of 2019. Really wonderful accomplishment, and I think you as students know, something like this, an accomplishment like this doesn't happen in isolation. You get a lot of help and a lot of support. So we at the Republican Town Committee want to extend our thanks with you students to the parents, the teachers, the coaches, the guidance counselors, the administration, who have prepared you for the next 4 years and beyond. And also to thank your parents and your guardians for the many years of support and guidance that they provided to you. And I guess in a more general way, we just had the Wigmore show here in the front. We want to thank also any veterans that are in the audience and any active members of the military. In Cohasset, in Cohasset, we do a lot of things really well. And just last weekend, I don't think there's any town in this state that honors our veterans and those that serve as well and as effectively as we do in Cohasset. So again, thank you for allowing us and allowing you students to learn in the kind of freedom where you can learn. So we had a handful of applicants for the scholarship, and we posed a question to them, and the question was, try to give us a distinction between a democratic republic and an unfettered democracy. And we got some pretty interesting responses, but I think part of the reason we have the winner that we have is, I'm going to put as a challenge to you, you graduating seniors. We have an issue, and we have many issues in this country, but one of them is, we don't vote with the frequency or the rate that we should. There's 32 nations in what's called the OECD, the Organization for Economic and Cooperative Developed Nations. We rank 25 out of 32 in voting turnout. So we had wonderful applicants for this scholarship, really top credential students. Not all of them were registered to vote. This is a Republican award. Not all of them were registered Republican. Not that that was the key criteria, but we thought it might be helpful. So I would ask all of you, before you march down wherever you're marching on, on your graduation day, shoot on down to Town Hall, grab a voter registration card, and register to vote. And I want to thank all of the applicants. They were, again, all really very deserving. But I want to congratulate Cole Baker for receiving
Good evening. My name is Peter Sandblom. I'm here to present the Scott Sandblom Memorial Scholarship. So this is the 24th time I've stood up here. It's still hard to believe, and I know, seeing Lorraine and Phil Mahoney, people that knew my family, it doesn't get any easier coming up here, but we established this scholarship to remember Scott each year. Scott was not a lifelong resident, but he loved Cohasset. When he passed away at the age of 35 of a heart attack, he had planned on having his family grow up here. So my family, along with some close friends, decided to create this scholarship so that once a year I got to come up here and brag a little bit about him. Scott was a great all-around person. He's a great father, a great son, a great friend, and more importantly, a great brother. He was 10 years older than me, and he was the guy that I looked up to the most. So, we based the scholarship on academic achievement, athletic participation, character, leadership, and community service. And, those were what really drove Scott, even though he once threw a pie in a teacher's face at Cohasset High School. He didn't, we've all done things. But anyways, so this recipient, I didn't make this decision until about an hour before tonight. And it was funny, I stopped by one of my dearest friends, and I didn't realize that I know this person's, I went to school with this person's, family. Played football with one of their uncles. Their mom was, I think, a year behind me. And their other uncle, we had one hell of a prom in 1987. We'll get into that later. But anyways, it's my pleasure to present, and I'm honored to present this award for $4,000 to Emma Stevens.
Congratulations, everyone. And Nancy, we really have to talk about moving me behind the sand. Peter won, because he just kills it every year. I love hearing his stories. We'll work on that later. But I'm here, Matt Belson, for the lacrosse boosters scholarship. Lacrosse, all the recipients tonight are champions. They've all won state champions. Their mark at Cohasset Lacrosse far extends beyond their talents on the field. I think their leadership qualities are really just enjoyable to watch, and to know these people beyond just the players, but actually the students, and then just the kids that are now graduating and going off and doing some good things, I feel. So I'm going to now announce the recipients. So our first one is Maggie Lucier. Next one is Emma Stevens. And the next one is Annie Toomey. Ladies before gentlemen. So the next, well, I guess these guys are kind of gentlemen. Yeah, the next one I've had a chance, the next three I've had a chance to coach, so I can just say a few words about each one. Really, really proud of what this guy has done over the last few years. He's really stepped up and become a leader, both within his teammates and also on the field, and just an awesome guy and very successful guy down the road, I suspect as well. So Brendan Cooper. Yeah, this next guy's pretty cool too, I guess. Just ask him. Mason Fitzgerald. Last but not least, this guy's awesome too. I wish I had better vocabulary tonight. So, but Chris Longo.
Good evening. It's a pleasure and honor to be here to present the senior awards on behalf of the field hockey boosters and recognize an outstanding group of women. Now in its 7th year, the Cohasset Field Hockey Boosters Scholarship has been awarded to one or more graduating seniors who plan to continue in a post-secondary 2 to 4 year education program. This award is made possible due to the hard work and fundraising by all the team members and their families, as well as the support of their coaches. We are pleased to recognize the following 3 standouts based upon their dedication to the team, their hard work on the field, their support, commitment, and leadership to Cohasset Field Hockey youth teams. Congratulations, Ellie Arnold. Liv Buddington. And Emma Stevens.
those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Taylor. I'm the school resource officer assigned to the Cohasset Public Schools. First off, I want to thank the community for your generosity and donations to the Cohasset Police Association. Without them, we wouldn't be able to give out these scholarships tonight. And we give back other things too. This is one thing that we give back, so thank you for that. And a side note, we will be calling for more soon, so just get ready for that. Last year I stood up here and pretty much praised the class of 2018, saying that it would be pretty tough to beat them. I think the class of 2019 may have done it. If you tell the class of 2018 I said that, I'll completely deny it. But, I mean, this class was amazing in so many ways. I mean, I could go on and on. I tell students all the time that, you know, if I had to go back and do it, that I don't think I'd be able to graduate. Between the academics, the sports, extracurricular activities like band, debate club, and just so many others that I'm unintentionally leaving out. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of hours, so it speaks to the people that they are, the young people that they are. It also speaks to, you know, the family and friends that they have, so definitely give yourselves a pat on the back because you're a part of their lives as well. All right, so I'll move on to the scholarships. Usually we give out like 2 or 3, and they're usually $1,000 a piece. It seems to be a theme. Everyone keeps saying they can't decide on who to pick, and again, I was in that boat. So we're going to give away 10 scholarships at $500 a piece. I know that math doesn't add up, but I was never good at math, so what are we going to do? I'll just get right to it because I know time is definitely of the essence, so let's go here. I'm going to steal a page out of Coach Ford's book and call it 2 at a time, too, so we can move on. First 2, Cole Baker and Bridget Burke. Baroni. And the last 2, but not least, Lauren Scott and Sophie Swart. Congratulations to all of you. You should all be very proud. It's a great accomplishment. And just remember, I wish you the best of luck. And safety never takes a holiday.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Trish Morse, and with me is Lorraine Tarby. We are representing the Rotary Club of Cohasset. You may know we do 2 major fundraisers every year. The motto for Rotary International is service above self, and we raise money to give it away. That's what we do. We do 2 events. We do the road race, and I know many of you have volunteered either through ASP or through Scouts over the years to help us with the road race. We really appreciate that. And then our other big fundraiser is this little Cohasset phone book that we all dearly love. And I point this out tonight because one of the things in the very, very beginning of this phone book is a list of all of the Rotary Scholarship recipients since 1947, when we began giving scholarships from the Cohasset Rotary. So a tradition since 1947, the Rotary Club of Cohasset is pleased to once again award scholarships to deserving Cohasset students. This evening, we will award a total of $15,000 in scholarships to these deserving students. And the following recipients will, when you come home from college next year and pick up the phone book out of the kitchen drawer or in your mother's car, or wherever it happens to be, look in the front and you will find your names added to our beloved town phone book. So we'll do two at a time also. Sophie Markowitz and Marcus Rowland. Emma Stevens and Brendan Cooper. Caroline Hess and Janie Cavanaro. Kaylee Durkin and Jared Seebeck. John Mahaney and Isabella Russell. That was a typo. Gabriella Sestito and Lauren Scott.
My name is Joe Carroll, and I'm here representing the Cohasset Hockey Boosters. I will be presenting Coach Dennis Walsh Hockey Scholarship. It is awarded to a senior based on 3 criteria: scholastic performance, sportsmanship, and financial need. This year's recipient was one of the senior captains. He helped organize the captain's practices. He drove many of the younger players back and forth during the early morning practices. He played solid defense for the team, but more importantly, he was a good mentor for some of the younger players of the team. He will be attending the Eisenberg School of Business at UMass Amherst. This year's winner of the Coach Dennis Walsh Scholarship goes to Thomas Broderick.
On behalf of the Cohasset Baseball Boosters, the Diamond Club, it is my honor to recognize this year's scholarship recipients. We've watched this group of young men play baseball together since they were in Little League. They have played as teammates, opponents, and friends. They have competed in the majors, Williamsport, the Legion, and now the Skippers. They have played, and we've watched them grow as individuals, as players, and as a team. And with that, I recognize, and I'll do by twos, like the others, to keep time moving along. Nicholas Simone. Jack Mahoney. And Mark Mahoney.
22.
Bradley Albanese. George Breck. Clifford Ward. And last, my son, Michael Malinowski. That's the 2019 Intellectual Baseball team in the playoffs.
Good evening. My name is Patty Thompson, and I am thrilled to be here to represent the Cohasset Teachers Association and to bring their greetings and congratulations to the entire class of 2019. Look really sharp. Our first recipient tonight for scholarship is Mr. Niels Erland. Miss Maeve Humphrey. And Mr. David Lemoyne. This evening, I also have the honor of presenting the Sandy Beach Association Scholarship. This year, the Sandy Beach Association will present its award to a very deserving young man. The association is committed to its natural environmental ecosystem, which is an important asset to this community. This young man has proved to the association a very deep dedication and understanding of our coastal environment through his long-term service to CSCR. For those of you that might not be familiar, CSCR is a nonprofit organization that performs grant work to monitor a wide range of ecological studies in and around Cohasset Harbor. Matthew, our recipient, is a hands-on researcher in the Watershed Project, and adults rely on him as a peer leader who instills an amazing wealth of enthusiasm and serious, thoughtful project work. In addition to his phenomenal talents as a writer, it is lab work where he shines as a scientist and leader. He has learned to apply many analytical techniques, including but not limited to salinity, dissolved oxygen, bacteria testing, and optical brightening testing. He has no difficulty in instructing young students or even his own classmates on what to do and why they are doing it. It is all part of what Matthew sees as a legitimate and meaningful way to serve the community that has so benefited him. Tonight we want to honor Matthew Lucet for his fine work and wish him hearty congratulations.
Felicidades, clase de 2019. Monsieur, Madame, bonsoir. Señores y señoras, buenas tardes. Each year, the Massachusetts Foreign Language Association confers a certificate upon one student in each high school for each language taught, French and Spanish in this case. This award recognizes a student who has demonstrated excellence in the most advanced course of language taught in each school, in this school, and is selected by the teachers in our Department of World Languages. Additionally, this year, both winners travel to the countries in which they use the language in order to survive. In French, for his high achievement, we recognize Thomas Broderick. And in Spanish, for her high achievement, we recognize Lily Burnett. Merci beaucoup. Gracias.
Okay, first things first, on behalf of the class of 1992 nationwide, I would like to extend an honorary envy of bald men everywhere handshake to the most glorious head of hair in the room, Tyler Muller. Class of 19, I apologize that I'm going to miss your special day on Saturday. I have a family graduation in another part of the state, but thank you to each and every one of you. It has been a wonderful 4-year journey. The South Shore Social Studies Supervisors, or 5S as we call ourselves, is a group of Social Studies Department chairs from over 55 communities in the southeast part of the state. And each year we select one student for an Excellence in the Social Studies Award. For the first time, this award this year goes to a student from Cohasset. This student is the ideal social studies student. Beyond acing AP classes and representing her school with distinction at Student Government Day and Model UN conferences, this student took a fantastic leap out of the comfort zone of any high school student and decided to spend her entire junior year studying abroad in the Kingdom of Jordan. She is possessed of tremendous intellectual curiosity and so much of the most important quality that history students can have, and one that we need more of in the world today, and that's empathy. It is my privilege and honor to present to a true global citizen this year's award to Caroline Hess.
Good evening, I'm Cindy Matheson. I'm here to represent the Cohasset Education Foundation. Congratulations to all of you. Clearly you are remarkable as individuals and as a group. So the CEF is proud to offer its scholarship to the high school seniors who exemplify the goal of educational excellence. This award is made to students whose behavior demonstrates honor and principle, whose mind is characterized by intellectual curiosity and excellence in scholarship, and whose conduct is respectful of our world. And I'm pleased to present our scholarships to Maeve Humphrey and to Rebecca Krystal.
Good evening. My name is Ellen Marr, and I'm here representing the Cohasset School Committee, also Cohasset High School graduate, 1980. So I walked down this aisle just as you did almost 40 years ago. So I'm here to present the Nichols Scholarship. The Nichols Scholarship is awarded to the student with the highest cumulative grade point average over the past 4 years. And this year's Nichols Scholarship winner is Rebecca Krystal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Dockery, and I'm honored to represent the Cohasset Gridiron Club. Tonight we're presenting 13 scholarships to 13 student athletes who have done a fine job in the classroom and also in the gridiron, bringing home the Division 7 South Section champion. Jen, I want to call you up 2 at a time because you have 13 of you. First two, Cole Baker and Michael Brash. Next up, Joe Donahue and Jackson Fitzgerald. Next up, Aaron Froyo and Matt Lund. Next up, the Knott brothers, John Mahoney and Mark Mahoney. Next, Turner Martell and Tyler Mulhern. Next up, Kevin Baroni and Nick Simone. And to finish up the Baker's Dozen, Cliff Boyd.
Class of 2019. When me and Colin graduated 12 years ago, they used to stick the presenters up here under the lights and give the kids the comfy seats, and needless to say, it's a welcome switcheroo. Anyway, we're here to present the Kurt Fritzen Memorial Scholarship for our good friend who died in 2006 from Ewing sarcoma. Kurt was a hockey player throughout his career at Cohasset High School. He embodied the qualities of courage, leadership, and an overall love for the game. Although Kurt was facing an uphill battle, he approached every practice with a desire to contribute and make the team better. He even woke up for our 4:45 a.m. practices shortly after having chemotherapy.
The qualities that made Kurt a great teammate made him an even better friend. And we are honored to present the scholarship to a hockey player, and more importantly, a man who shows the same qualities of leadership and courage and love for the game. We are proud to announce and present the Kurt Fritzen Memorial Scholarship to Matthew Lund.
My name is Helen Daly, and tonight I am pleased to award the Brian K. Milton Swimming Scholarship. Brian began swimming on this Cohasset High School swim team 20 years ago and swam for 4 years until his graduation. This scholarship is given each year to a swimmer or swimmers who share Brian's love and enthusiasm for this sport, who have demonstrated leadership and commitment to the Cohasset High School swim team, and who have also focused on academic achievement. I'm going to move over here so that if anyone's sitting behind me, they can come all the way up front so that parents can see them get this award. Our first recipient has competed on this high school swim team for 5 years, and while noting that swimming is an individual sport, this recipient also acknowledged that this welcoming team environment has helped this individual overcome shyness, to gain confidence, and to open many other doors, including competing in other sports. It is my pleasure to award this Brian K. Bilton Swimming Scholarship to Emma Charlotte Stevens. Our next recipient began swimming at age 7 on the Cohasset Summer Swim and Dive team and was terrified at the first meet experience. This team member, who qualified for states this past season and who is now inspired to continue swimming in college, attributes swimming as a source of friendships which have developed over these years. And this individual has also shared the passion for this sport when serving as a swim instructor to younger children. I am pleased to award this Brian K. Bilton Scholarship to our Cohasset swim team captain, Hannah Elizabeth Burnett. This next individual has been swimming for 13 years and has competed with the Cohasset High School swim team for 4 years. This person attributes their swimming time as having provided a way to reduce and release any existing stress from other life happenings. I award this Brian K. Bilton Scholarship to team captain Bridget Ann Burke. Training to swim competitively was more difficult than this individual expected, but this person came to love it and worked hard to improve. And this swim team provided an enriching environment for this individual, as well as an understanding of and friendship with others with whom there had never been a previous connection. I am happy to award this Brian K. Bilton Scholarship to Sophie Earl Markowitz. Final individual who meets all the requirements for the Brian K. Bilton Scholarship is a competitive swimmer who attributes swimming to helping to form a foundation for success in life. This person has helped to coach the summer swim team and has helped with the Special Olympics swim program and has served as the Cohasset High School team captain for 3 years. This individual is also a 4-time state qualifier and received 2nd place this year in the state 500 free competition. This person will continue to swim competitively in college, and it is a pleasure for this Brian K. Bilton Scholarship to acknowledge Dean Patrick Spicer.
Good evening again. I'm Eileen Norton, and I'm also on the board of the Cohasset Swim and Dive team. It's the summer program. Rich in tradition, the Cohasset Swim and Dive team proudly provides our swimming and diving participants with a competitive yet fun venue to pursue and improve upon their swimming and diving. The recipient of tonight's Swim and Dive Team Scholarship exemplifies the work ethic it takes to achieve her personal best. It is with great pleasure to announce tonight's Cohasset Swim and Dive Team Scholarship. This young woman has been swimming for 13 years and considers it to be one of her favorite sports. She admits that the life of a student athlete can be stressful at times, and nothing helps her find her inner peace more than a long swim in the pool. As a student at UMass Amherst in the fall, this young woman will likely rely heavily on the wisdom gained from her experience on the Cohasset swim and dive team. We wish you the best in all you do. Congratulations, Bridget Burke.
Hello, I'm here to represent the Cohasset Youth Baseball and Softball Association. Those that know me will probably recognize the fact that I am not Chris Seiwert. Chris was not able to make it due to an unfortunate conflict. My name is Vince Thornton. I am a board member associated with Chris. We're here to present, or I am here to present, 2 scholarships, one male, one female, to individuals that got their foundation in baseball and softball. I'd like to present Isabella Russell and Turner Martell.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Pisano, and I'm proud to represent the Phil Pisano Memorial Scholarship. Normally, I'd read off out of our scholarship charter and provide you with a little description as to who my father was and what he meant. But instead, I'd like to read a letter that was sent to my mom a few years after the passing of my father. Kind of tells you who he really was. I'll leave the names out of it. I'm writing to you in regards to your late husband, Phil, or Coach P, as I and many others called him. I graduated at Cohasset High School in 1988, and I had the honor of playing football for your husband. I'm sure not a day goes by where you do not think of him. Please understand the profound impact he had on my life, and that's the reason why I'm writing you this letter. In the mid-1980s, my parents were going through a tough divorce. I was 14 years old and played freshman football. My sophomore year, I started to spiral out of control. I did try out for varsity team, and I thought I was good enough for playing time. Reality was I wasn't. I ended up quitting the team shortly into the fall season. My grades suffered. I turned to drugs and alcohol to numb the pain I was going through. I was walking home from school late one day, probably because I skipped class that day, and your husband saw me walking and stopped his car and asked me to get in. He never once questioned why I quit that year. He wanted to know how I was doing. He had heard of the turmoil I was going through in my personal life. He was a comforting voice in a time where everyone was upset with me. As he dropped me off at my house, he ended up with, keeping his name out of the story, anytime you need a ride or want to talk, let me know, and next year, please come back and play football for me. I need tough kids like you on the team. I was floored. This was the first adult in a while that showed confidence in me. I was going down a bad path at the time, which some of my friends at that time never recovered, even from this day. I started working out more, going to the gym, doing better in school, all with the intention of making the team my junior year and playing as hard as I could. I would see your husband around the school, hanging out in the late Clark Chatterson's office. He would always talk, and I would always make him laugh with a sarcastic sense of humor. I used to say football saved my life, but it was actually your husband, Coach P, that saved my life. Time and again, as life went on for me, I would see him at golf tournaments and other events. He never lost that sense of caring and concern for my well-being. I thought he would live forever. And he actually has, not only in me, but the countless people he coached, mentored, and befriended over the years. Please take solace in this. I am a better person, husband, father, and son because of him. And for that, I am eternally grateful to him. And for that, I thank you. The scholarship's not about the fastest person in your class, the smartest person. It's really about exhibiting the strong character, academic drive, sportsmanship, and just good moral person. So I'm proud to present this year's recipients for this year's scholarship to John Mahoney,
evening, everybody. My name is Denise Perez-Botts, and for the first time in several years of gardening, I have finally joined the Community Garden Club of Cohasset. And it is my privilege this year to present 3 scholarships. I also have been on the tennis scholarship committee for the last 7 years. And I have never read so many well-written essays from this class. This class is, as past presenters have said, are absolutely amazing. The community work that they do, volunteering, excuse me, their academic GPAs are outstanding. You can tell by their essays how much they care about the community. And as Peter Buckley said earlier, they need to thank the parents, first of all, any caretakers, staff, and mostly each other. Always be kind to each other, always care about each other, always remember this is the community that you came from, the community that you have built, and the wonderful work that you have done. Wherever the road leads you, make that the community that you're proud of as well. The first recipient is Caroline Hess. Next recipient, Sophie Markowitz. And last but not least, Rachel Reagan. With me this evening is Susan Spofford. Sue's daughter Meredith and my daughter Erica were captains on the tennis team. In 2012 they graduated, and it's hard to believe that it was 7 years ago. Does Meredith come home?
She's working Boston.
Oh, okay. Erica came home and hasn't left. I think one of the things that makes Cohasset, makes this town, makes these kids so great is all the different sports, the leadership roles that they take, the friendships that they develop, and they take this out into the world. And to be able to sit here tonight and say, you know, oh, I'm out of high school, I finally graduated. This is only the beginning of your journey. Wait till the next 4 years. As I said, my daughter graduated 7 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long.
These girls were part of a team that decided to establish this award when they were captains as their legacy. They were inspired by their love of the game and the desire to acknowledge members of the team who demonstrated leadership, a positive attitude, good sportsmanship, and an ongoing commitment, all while maintaining the academic standards in preparation for future educational enrichment. This is our 7th successful year raising funds for this scholarship, and we would like to thank the generous members of the Cohasset community who recognize that tennis is a lifelong sport. My dad is about to be 99, and he played till he was 95.
And God bless him, has donated for the past 7 years. Congratulations to all of the seniors of 2019. I'm pleased to announce the 2019 Cohasset High School Girls Tennis Scholarship Awards. This year is our biggest year. We have 9 scholarships this year. Time's getting late. I'm going to do 3 at a time. Olivia Buddington, Bridget Burke, and Morgan Singara. Next three, Elizabeth Lynch, Carolyn McInnes, and Bella Sestito. You're welcome. Diana Sturdy, Sophie Swartworth, and Holly Danette.
Congratulations to you all. Good luck next year.
Hello everyone, my name is Claudia Russell and I'm a representative for the Cohasset Cheerleading Boosters Club. I want to thank everybody for being here and congratulate this wonderful class. Now, one of the girls that won her scholarship this year said that cheerleading involves not only determination, but it also involves a positive attitude and a lot of self-confidence. Not only when you're at the base of a four-person stand, but also when you're at the top of that stand coming down about 15 or so feet. So it's a very dangerous sport, and we couldn't be prouder of all the cheerleaders that were in the team this year. Not only did they support the team, the football team, rain, snow, shine, sleet, snow, ice, you name it, but also they made it to regionals, which is the first time that the cheerleading team has ever made it to regionals. So I'm very proud of them. So this year's award goes to 3 individuals. Now, in terms of the award, the first person who has won it has been the manager for the team for quite a while. And she's just not only handled the team, managed the team, organized and helped the team along, but she's also been an instrumental part of the team. So we want to thank Lindsay Lynch for the scholarship. Thank you. The next person is an amazing athlete. Not only has she been in cheerleading for 4 years, but she's also been a gymnast for 4 years, as you'll find out in the next award. And this girl is just amazing in not only what she does on the floor, but also what she does out on the football stadium. I'd like to award the next scholarship to the Cohasset cheerleading captain, Lauren Scott. Last, but absolutely not least, this person is near and dear to my heart. 17 years ago, this girl was born, and even though I was induced, she came out when she wanted to. This girl does amazing things, not only on the floor, but on the air. Things that I could only dream of when I was her age and even now. The things that she does with her body is unbelievable, and I'm like, where does it come from? Because it's definitely not from my genes, and I don't think it's also from my husband. So it's all her on her own, how she can do these amazing cheerleading moves and gymnastics moves on and off the air. And to this day, I'm still amazed at what she does on the floor as well as in the air. So the next award goes to the captain of the Cohasset cheerleading team, my daughter, Isabella Cristina Russell. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jackie Scott, and I'm here on behalf of the Cohasset Gymnastics Boosters. The Boosters was just established a little over a year and a half ago, and this is the first time we're able to present awards to Cohasset gymnasts. The first award is going to a woman that has been on the team for 4 years. She's reliable and strong, and she was an anchor on the event of the uneven parallel bars. The first recipient is Bridget Wigston. The second recipient has also been on the team for 4 years. She's been a dependable and proficient team member on the floor and bars. The next recipient is Isabella Russell. The last one was the captain of the team. She was also on the team for 4 years and had managed the team when she was in the 8th grade. I've had the pleasure of watching her perform gymnastics since she was 2. My daughter, Lauren Scott.
Okay, I'm back again. This time I'm representing the Cohasset Golf Boosters. The Boosters provide scholarships to both male and female golf members. This year we do not have any graduating seniors from the golf team, but we do have a number of female graduating. We do have a number of males graduating from the class of 2019 that played golf. So I'd like to bring up Brad Albany, Sam Albino, and Andrew McSheffrey.
Congratulations to the class of 2019. I had the pleasure of explaining something to Jane Hansen not too long ago that you don't always learn in school, and it's come in handy when you go to return a rent-a-car or fill up a variety of cars. And what Jane didn't know was there was an arrow on the gas gauge that points to what side the fuel lever is. Did you know that? Did you know, Jane? Did you know that? Nick? Rock? True story. On a real serious note, I was asked by Jody Golden if I would present the Will Golden Memorial Scholarship. And I replied, it would be my honor. Willie was a friend of mine, and I still talk to Willie at length, and I told him I'd keep it together, and I'll do my best to do that. I love Will, and I still do today. Willie was a heck of a kid, a heck of an athlete. I had the pleasure of meeting him 15 years ago. We were at Pilgrim Arena where my wife and Willie's mom would rent the small rink at Hingham, and the kids would go, and they were 4 and 5, and my 2 older boys and Willie and Bryant, all the lacrosse guys, Colin Bell, and we would go out and they would skate, or call it skating, and they'd have milk crates, and they would have metal chairs. And it was interesting, but Willie was skating around like he'd been doing it his whole life, and he was all of 5. From that point on, we became very good friends with the Goldens and with the kids and the parents, and they'd come over to our house frequently. And I would get on the skates with Willie and try to keep peace out there and get some semblance of a hockey game. At that point, Willie started to call me coach, and I was honored, because to try to teach Willie something, you just had to tell Willie what time and what field. Willie was a special athlete and a special person. He called me coach, and after time, he started to call my wife Hun. At which point, his mom said, "Why do you call Mrs. Lange Hun?" And he said, "That's what coach calls her." My boys didn't have the heart to tease me. He was too big and strong, so we let it go. Over the years, I watched Willie, and when I'd come to a field, and if Willie, I don't think, was acting up to his potential, I'd say, "That's all you got, Will?" And Chris Arnold saw this a lot of times. He would level the next kid within sight, and then that would end up in Sean Golden was saying, "No, don't say it." But Willie brought it. The best thing about Willie was, as a teammate, as a friend, as a son, as a brother, he had your back. It was quite evident when, in June of 2014, Cohasset went up to Arch Williams to play Archies on their home field. They were heavily favored, so the paper said. And within a few minutes into the game, I got testy, and one of the Archies players took a wipe at our goalie. Macy, you know you can't do that, right? Where's Macy? So Pat Hallway took exception to that. Pat was a hockey player, and he laid the kid out cold. The kid got up, he did it again. So he got a two-minute lockdown, 4 minutes. So 4 minutes we're a man down. Willie went over the sideline, got his boys together, and said, "Don't worry, I've got this. Get on my back, boys." That day, in June in 2014, Willie won every face-off and scored 5 goals for a 13-7 victory. Next up was June 14th in 2014, a day Willie claimed was the greatest day of his life. Will and his classmates graduated from Cohasset High School. After climbing down from the stairs at the stage of the music tent, going home to get a cheeseburger, change, get in his lacrosse gear, and meet his teammates back at the high school to board the bus bound for Nickerson Field at BU. Once again, Willie took charge. A tough-fought battle to Dover Sherburne. It was a 10-9 win. Willie scored 3 goals and won the majority of his face-offs. A day that left a mark, the seniors, his teammates, and throughout town. It was a special day. I was pleased to be there. Willie then went on to play college lacrosse and hockey, which is really difficult to do. As I mentioned earlier, Will was the ultimate teammate, son, brother, protector, and friend. He lived life to the fullest. This year's Will Golden Scholarship winner is also the ultimate teammate, sister, daughter, and friend. I had the pleasure of meeting her over a decade ago, oddly enough, at her ice rink, where she was watching her brother play hockey for the Skippers. He played with my son, he played defense, he was one hell of a defenseman. His name was Brian Scott. This young lady would do raffles and sell candy and help whatever we had to do with the hockey boosters to raise money for the program. Like Willie, this recipient had a permanent smile on her face, even while doing flips across Alumni Field during Friday Night Lights. Before I bring this young lady up, I just want one bit of criticism, and my wife would be pleased with this. We were having dinner at the Cove, where Lauren Scott was our waitress. I ordered a meal, and I ordered the prime rib and mashed potatoes and broccoli. Lauren, you brought me a baked potato. Willie wanted me to set the record straight. With that said, it is my pleasure to bring up Lauren Scott as the 2019 Will Golden.
Soccer boosters this evening. We'd like to thank all the seniors on the stage who've been part of the soccer program the last 4 years. During this time, the program recorded strong results, league titles, and consistent long postseason runs. which has been great to watch, but probably even better to be a part of. We'd like to recognize 4 seniors, not only for their contributions to the high school soccer program, but also their commitment to the soccer community and the youth program, with whom we have a great partnership and share a passion for the sport. The following individuals have all demonstrated passion, energy, and positive contributions towards high school soccer, the soccer community, and the youth soccer program. And we're happy to provide these awards to, and I'm going to call all 4 up to break tradition: Ian Dunkelberger, Maeve Humphrey, Christopher Lange, and Rachel Regan.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 2019. My name is Mcsweeney. I'm a graduate of 1982, a couple of years ago. I'm going to award 2 different scholarships, 4 total. And the first is the Justin Lange Memorial Scholarship. This is for a couple of students that have taken on ASP as one of their volunteer missions. So many of these kids have done so much volunteer work that sorting through the applications was extremely difficult for the committee. But there were a couple that stood out, actually many stood out, but only a couple can get the award. So tonight's award for the Justin Lange Scholarship goes to 2. One that's been up here a couple of times already, Marcus Rowland. And again, a recipient of the last couple, Lauren Scott. Moving to the next scholarship, this is from the Cohasset Sailing Club and is given to a kiddo that's put a number of years into the Cohasset Sailing Club that has enriched sailing here in Cohasset for over 50 years, that I'm sure many of these young kids have been involved with. So there are 2 recipients today. Again, once again, Marcus Rowland. And Molly Gilbert. Class of 2019, I will not be able to join you Saturday as another one of my nephews is graduating at the same time, so good luck, have fun, and please be safe.
The Mcsweeney and Ricci Insurance Agency Scholarship is awarded to a Cohasset High School senior who intends to pursue a major in business at a 2- or 4-year college. The award goes to Gabriella Sestito. The Situate Cohasset Youth Football and Cheerleading Scholarship. This award is presented to a graduating senior as a token of gratitude from the families of the SciCo board. The award goes to, or the awards go to, Joseph Fox and Katrina McCann. The Robert Escapade Charitable Trust Scholarship is awarded to students who are active in school activities and community service, demonstrated through part-time employment or volunteer work, which shows their ambition and desire to achieve their goals. There's 2 recipients. The awards go to Keith Hendrickson and Scott Lucid.
Good evening. My name is Laura Struzzieri, and I have the privilege of being a guidance counselor here at Cohasset High School. Congratulations, class of 2019. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to do 4 awards tonight. The first is the John Hartshorn Gulf River Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded annually to a Cohasset High School student who has shown interest and experience in the environment, especially in and around the Gulf River. The scholarship is named for John Hartshorn, a longtime Gulf River resident who helped start the association and worked tirelessly in preserving the natural beauty of the river. This year, I don't think it will come as any surprise that the board recognizes Matthew Lucid for his academic achievements and his commitment to working to improve our environment. The next award is the Pilgrim Bank Edward T. Mulvey Scholarship. This is awarded to a Cohasset High School senior who has demonstrated interest in fine arts and may pursue a course of study relating to fine arts in college. This year, the award goes to Sophie Markowitz. Next is the Linda and Larry Schultz Scholarship. The Linda and Larry Schultz Scholarship is offered in honor of Linda and Larry Schultz, who together dedicated over 50 years to providing teaching, administrative, community, and extracurricular excellence to the youth of Cohasset. In celebration of Linda's and Larry's tireless dedication and passionate commitment to the intellectual and physical development of multiple generations of Cohasset youth, this scholarship will be awarded to a graduating senior who will attend a 4-year accredited college or university with plans to become an educator or enter a public service-oriented profession. This award goes to Elise Wimberly. My last award is the South Shore Children's Dentistry Scholarship. South Shore Children's Dentistry is the practice of Dr. Christine Grazioso, located in Cohasset, and is celebrating its 20th year in business. As a way to commemorate this milestone, Dr. Grazioso is happy to award 2 graduating seniors each with a $500 scholarship. Award recipients are patients of the practice that applied for the scholarship and were chosen based on outstanding written essays. The awards go to Olivia Buddington and Jack Mahoney.
And I have the privilege of presenting the final scholarships of the evening. The first is the Cohasset Permanent Firefighter Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded each year to a Cohasset High School senior planning to continue into a post-high school educational program. This year's awards go to Molly Gilbert and John Mahoney. Cohasset Metco Scholarship. This scholarship is funded through the generosity of the Cohasset community, which each year purchase wreaths at the annual Cohasset Metco PSO wreath sale. This year's awards go to India Cummings-Myers, Indira Cummings-Myers, and Adrian Johnson. The State Senator Patrick O'Connor Scholarship. This scholarship was awarded to graduating seniors who plan to continue in a post-secondary educational program. Selection was based on community service, volunteer activities, and participation in student government. The awards go to Jenna Herman and Scott Lucen. The Cohasset Historical Society Bertram J. Pratt Memorial. This award was established in 1994 in memory of Bert Pratt, former president of the Cohasset Historical Society. Bert was very active in the town, having been a selectman, and served on many boards and committees. This year's recipient is Matthew Lucen. The Major William Arthur Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded each year to a Cohasset High School senior planning to continue into a post-high school educational program. The criteria of selection are scholarship and good citizenship. This year's awards go to Katrina McCann and Elizabeth Arnold. The Noel Ripley Scholarship. This scholarship is given in memory of Noel Ripley, a longtime Cohasset resident and former Cohasset High School graduate. This year's award goes to Lydia Vigneault. And finally, the William Ripley Scholarship. This scholarship is given in memory of William Ripley, superintendent of schools in Cohasset for many years. This year, the award goes to Joe Keneally. And now I would like to introduce class president, Mr. Scott Lucen.
Each year, the seniors vote to select a teacher whose expertise and influence resonates with the graduating class. This person is asked to offer a last lesson before we cross the stage to receive our diplomas on Saturday. This year, it is my pleasure, on behalf of the class of 2019, to award the Golden Apple to Mr. Jason McCabe.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor. I got a little bit nervous when they said a last lecture, and I was like, is the Golden Apple a euphemism for a pink slip or something? But it's for you guys, I guess, not my last lecture. So, whew. But thank you so much. This is a huge honor, and to be awarded it by a group of people whom I hold in such high esteem is a double blessing. And thank you, parents, for the endless sacrifices you make for your children, and for entrusting us with a part of their education. Thank you to all the other faculty, many of whom I am sure are more deserving. I learn every day from you. I was told, as I said, that this was supposed to be a last lesson of sorts, but before I deliver it, I'm bound to say that much of what I'm about to impart I've already seen demonstrated by this class. When you submitted your Chaucer paper, Thomas and Tori, when you shared hard personal truths, Dimitri and Sophie, when you said that you were scared, Matt, when you asked for help, Jane, when you pontificated about music and your brother Nick, when you didn't care what others said, Holly, when you defended unpopular opinions, David and John, when you forgave a barbed comment, Lucy, when you actually read Jane Eyre, Elizabeth. You taught me determination and vulnerability and enthusiasm and integrity and courage and grace and intellectual curiosity. And I must say that it fills me with great hope, because as much as I value academics and learning for its own sake, this world doesn't need more academics. It needs people of virtuous character, which you are becoming. Irony is not so much the occurrence of the unexpected, but the subversion of what's already expected. The firehouse burns down. The police station is burglarized. A third and equally clever expectation is subverted. English teachers consider themselves to be the guardians of the ironic, and I cannot absent myself from this admittedly hubristic category. Not content in allowing Alanis Morissette to elevate a literary device to popular prominence, we insist on chastising her 1995 album Jagged Little Pill and its hit single, Isn't It Ironic? We remind her that rain on one's wedding day, though perhaps unfortunate, is not ironic unless, say, the nuptials are purposefully planned to be held in the Sahara for the express purpose of avoiding rain. Then rain is ironic. It's the free ride that you just didn't take, Ms. Morissette prunes. Is it, though? Not only would I say that that's not particularly ironic, but I would advise you to be extremely wary of free rides, as I often advise my own children. Here is an ironic scenario involving free rides. Alanis Morissette's 1995 hit single, Isn't It Ironic, was just playing on your iPhone, and not having heard that pessimistic little tune in some time and being nostalgically transported back to, if not a simpler, certainly a more flannel-abundant era of your life, you decide on a whim to heed that good Canadian's advice. Just then, your Uber app pings, offering a free ride, which, naturally considering the context, you accept. Across town, a woman whose wedding has just been ruined by a deluge of Old Testament proportions runs from the sopping altar in her bedraggled vows, jumps in her car, and careens through the damp streets. The tears streaming down her face blur her vision. She loses control and slams into your free Uber. You spend a month sipping your meals through a straw and wired jaw in a charity rehab facility funded by the 90s Canadian pop star Alanis Morissette. Now, isn't that ironic? But I'm a bit priggish about irony because I'm one of its biggest fans, especially when it's subtly played, especially when it moves outside of the boundaries of fiction into life. In that vein, here are two brief lessons I've been taught by irony. Lesson number one, be like Fiona. I find situations like this to be difficult, culminations, endings. I have a tendency to think about not what comes next, but what is coming to an end. I guess it's a tendency toward the nostalgic, a sensitivity to the passing of time. Both my wife and I have been acutely aware of it since childhood, and every last we have mourned. It's Peter Pan syndrome, pure and simple. I didn't want to grow up because I knew what lay at the far end of that path. I could avoid death, I thought, by remaining a child forever. But life has a way of intervening. The day before my wife went into labor with our third child, Fiona Sabine, our only daughter, we were prepared for the complications. We had known for months that within a few hours of being born, she would be hooked up to machines to ensure her viability. Her sternum would then be surgically separated so that she could undergo a 7-hour cardiac procedure on an organ roughly the size of a walnut. We were ready for this and the dangers and risks and weeks of sleeping in the hospital, and even the difficulty of explaining to our twin 2-year-old boys why mommy and daddy were gone so much and why they couldn't hold their baby sister. But as the ultrasound technician took the final prenatal images, she abruptly halted and said, "Were you aware that your daughter has a horseshoe kidney?" Our blank responses were answer enough, so she continued with all the bedside manner of a cold brick. "Your daughter has Turner syndrome." I'd never heard the term, so my expression remained one of ignorance, but my gut clenched as my wife's face blanched, and she began to cry. "What's wrong?" I asked stupidly. "What's Turner's?" "A genetic abnormality, a congenital defect occurring only in females," she eventually explained, "one that bears a host of possible symptoms, 2 of which are universal: extreme shortness and the inability to bear children." I was silent for a few minutes. Every once in a while, the silences recur. It would be a couple of years before the irony occurred to me. Height and having children, two clear indicators we use to differentiate children from adults. In a way, my daughter had found a way to be the Peter Pan I'd psychologically admired. For some reason, however, I didn't feel relief. But there's a double irony here, because this story is not a tragedy. If you've ever met Fiona, you know that she is the embodiment of joy. I do not hyperbolize when I say that she is the happiest person I know. Every morning she wakes up beaming. She cannot wait to go to school. She cannot wait to see her therapists and her teachers. She cannot wait to practice her letters or see her daddy or her mother or brothers. She screams with delight when she hears that her babysitters, Maeve or Caroline, are coming. Fiona will be 8 in July. She has attended over 5 years of speech therapy. While other kids are going to ballet and soccer, she's trying to will her tongue and mouth to form shapes and sounds that the rest of us don't even need to think about. In January, she placed her top 2 front teeth against her bottom lip and blew air around them. That's a voiceless labiodental fricative for you linguists out there. To that sound, she appended 3 syllables that she's been working on for years, and for the first time, she said her name, Fiona. For hours a week, of her own volition, she practices scribing letters with a computer program. The opposing diagonal lines of the letter X have been a challenge. In the car on her communication device, over and over, she will try and fail. An annoying little panda face with tears will pop up each time. What kind of sadists are these programmers? After 40 or 50 of these failures, she'll look up at me from the back seat, and in her stilted speech that it takes significant practice to understand, she says, "Daddy, I can't do it, ugh!" And then she looks back down and practices it again and again. Last Tuesday, after school, she hopped down from the table and grinning hugely ran over to me. She handed me an index card upon which was written a clearly legible X. "I did it, Daddy, I did it," she screamed. Because of her developmental delays, it's difficult to gauge Fiona's cognitive ceiling. Most likely there will be significant lifetime limitations, and yet she's my only child that I don't worry about, because she has shown me that if she has the capacity to learn it, she will learn it. And finally, Fiona has taught me a little bit about being an agent of grace. I'm not trying to beatify her. She has her willful and dishonest moments like any other child, but you should see this girl with her peers. She's in a sub-separate program in Weymouth. Her classmates have a host of physical and cognitive disabilities. It's an ethnically diverse group, and as far as I can tell, Fiona is unaware of that. They're just her peers whom she loves. They're just Ioana and Lamar and Jonathan. One boy has had over 30 surgeries. His face is concave. I'm not being unkind, just realistic when I say it takes some getting used to. But for Fiona, that's just who he is. When she sees him, she screeches his name, rushes over and embraces him, their cheeks pressed together. And every morning before school, she and Sarah Grace hug and jump rope and play hide and seek. If you don't find them within 3 seconds, they call out, "Yoo-hoo!" My daughter's kabuki pale hue, common in Turners. Sarah Grace, a foot taller, mocha skin, elaborate braids, both of them dressed to the nines, both of them jabbering away, affected by the same apraxia of speech, both understanding each other as no one else can. It can be frustrating. There are 10 specialists and 7 therapists and dozens of appointments, and sometimes after work and all those appointments and grading and soccer and church and all the rest, my patience is a bit short. I slump onto the couch. I just cleaned up another one of her accidents, and she's embarrassed. I feel bad about that, but I'm just annoyed. She's repeating some phrase, over and over. I'm ashamed to say it, but that high pitch of her voice is drilling right through my head at the moment. She comes up to me and grabs my arm. She repeats it again, louder, frustrated. "What, Fiona?" I say. "What?" She says it again more loudly. "What, Fiona? I don't know what you're saying." I can hear myself, but I can't stop myself. Louder still, she's yelling it now. "I don't know, Fiona, I don't know." She stops. A gap-toothed smile breaks across her face and she laughs. "That's okay, Daddy. That's okay." I smile and laugh with her. My daughter wraps her arms around my neck and says my favorite words. She says them to her mother and her brothers and her classmates, and she means them every time. She whispers in my ear, "I love you. You're my best friend." A number of you have learned these lessons already. Keep putting them into practice. Some of you, like me, are taking a little longer to get there, but let's keep at it. Let's be thankful in all circumstances. Let's work hard to maximize the potential of the gifts we have and to improve the ones that are not in such abundance. And let's be agents of mercy, accepting people because they are people made in the image of the divine, forgiving the failings of others, living out what Dostoevsky calls humble love. Let's keep transforming this world. Let's take what looks like ignorance and brokenness and hopelessness, and let's educate it and bandage it and shine hope upon it. Let's love the unloved, forgive the unforgiven, befriend the friendless. And lesson number 2, well, if I fulfilled your expectation of a second lesson, this wouldn't be ironic. So if you've derived nothing else from this, at least you've been presented with an exemplar of irony, and maybe then you can aspire to be Canadian pop stars. Congratulations, class of 2019. You're one of the greats.
Before we conclude our evening, I want to thank all of the community organizations that help support our students after life at CHS. I also want to thank the class advisors, Mrs. Moriarty and Mrs. Berkowitz-Bach, for all of their efforts that have gone into making this week special. And of course, to Mrs. Creighton, whose efforts into tonight's event are Herculean. Congratulations. Congratulations again to all of our recipients, soon to be graduates. We will see you promptly at 9:15 tomorrow morning at the music circus. This concludes our evening. Have a safe ride home.